you don't have the information, the knowledge to support that. Anybody you come in contact with, I can't emphasize enough. If they're asking you what the value of their house is, give them the value of their house, but give it to them in a professional format. Everything you do, from brochures, postcards, mailings, it all reflects directly back on you. So really make yourself stand out and be a true professional. To generate new business, I'm a big proponent of direct mailings. I've put a lot of the ones that have worked for me on your desk. So that's what I do, generate new listings. Currently I have 76 listings, so what I do, I know it works. If you have any questions about the mailings, they're all there for you, but mailings are your guarantee that people are looking at your material.
I found out early in the business, Rick said his first, client was walking up to a house. I found out probably about 2 months into this business, that wasn't for me. Just cold calling and knocking on doors. But couldn't do it. And now there's some agents in my office, they can do it. They're great at it. Not for me. So what I did, I immediately, about 4 or 5 months into business, went to the internet and buying the leads online. I started doing that. The company at the time was called House Values. My mentor, Jeff Gregory, that just happens to be back there, said, hey, just buy the internet leads. I said, that's what I need to do. So therefore, the leads would come into a contact managing system, which you all need to have, and Outlook is not a contact managing system. You need to have something that has, built-in email campaigns. That's another thing that's helped me out tremendously in this business. I mean, after 4 years, I've got people that I first came into this contact managing system 3 years ago that I just finally went on a listing presentation and listed a house. 3 years later, after the lead came in, there's no system out there that you have at your disposal that that you're going to keep in contact with these people for 3 years straight. So I set them up on an email campaign, and they got an email from me. And then some of these are kind of form emails, absolutely, but at least they got one every month. And then sure enough, I get a phone call, and I saw it come up on the caller ID. It was this guy he worked for GM, and I knew exactly who it was because I had talked to him on the phone a couple times a year or two ago. Talked to him, and then went on a listing presentation 3 days ago, and it was no question. I knew because he was getting those emails on a consistent basis that I wasn't competing against anybody on this listing presentation because I had already done a CMA on his property. Sure, it was 2-3 years ago, and we had to do an updated one. And what I do for CMAs, I think all of you have this toolkit, CMA.com. I don't know if any of you have heard of that before or used it. I think that's the best system in terms of. I don't have the binder that I'm bringing, but I go out and I took a picture of the property, and I have all their information that came through as an internet lead, and I did a CMA online and was able to email a 20-page PDF. And the great thing about it, when that email goes to them, the email's there, and as soon as they click on the link to open the PDF, I get an email telling me that they opened it. And then I can call them, sometimes you get a little creeped out if you call them within 5 minutes. But the thing is, the amount of people that are kind of taken back, oh wow, how did you know that? But 90% of people appreciate that, and they'll always say, wow, that's great. I didn't think I was going to get something that thorough. They thought they were just going to get a couple numbers that your house is worth this much. But it's one of those things you're going above and beyond what they thought. They didn't realize they were going to get that much information to begin with. But I'll pass. You've got this on your desktop toolkit CMA, but here's a printed copy of what they're going to get in a full color PDF online. But definitely, contact management system is what's taking me to great heights in terms of transactions.
What do you use for that?
It's called Market Leader, which is what we have Executive Edge. Those of you who have been realtyexecutives.com and then getting into the back end of that, Executive Edge does the same thing. It's a great tool for that. Another thing, once I got on this, when I got into buying leads online, I was spending about $500 a month for 10 to 12 leads every month. Now, at first, yeah, that was a lot of money. Trust me, when I first got into business, that was going on my credit card every month. But after doing that for about 3-4 months, then all of a sudden I had 2 or 3 listings, and I was getting both buyers and sellers leads. And I was getting listings from the buyers leads. Well, yeah, we just started looking for a house, say in Plainfield, but we've got to sell our house first. Boom, now I got a listing. And from there, I realized, I was told by my mentor, he's like, after I did this for about a year and a half, he said, you've been spending $500 a month, and you have a consistent track record of, after a year and a half, every dollar I spent, I made 5. And because I had the system in place and kept on doing it. So I've always, this is always in the back of my mind. once you know, if you have a consistent track record of spending $500 a month and I'm making $1 or $5 for every dollar spent, how much should you be? How much more money should you put into that system if you have a consistent track record of making $5 on every dollar you spend? Anybody?
As much as you can.
Exactly. As much as you can. As much as you can, because you've got the proven track record, and it's going to work. You have to be consistent with whatever you choose to do.